This is the Sakar Murli of the 24th of November 2023. Essence. Sweet children, only when there is cleanliness and honesty in your hearts will the arrow of the true things you say strike the target. You now have the company of the true Father, therefore be honest and truthful. Question. What is it essential for you students to be cautious about? Answer. Whenever you make a mistake, you have to tell the truth. It is only by telling the truth that you will make progress. You mustn't take personal service from others. If you take service here, you will have to serve there. You students have to study very well and teach others, because only then will the Father be pleased. The Father is the ocean of love, and his love is that he educates you children and gives you a high status. Song. Who created this play and hid himself away? Om Shanti. Nowadays, we receive news that people are celebrating Gita Jayanti. The topic is, who gave birth to the Gita? Since it is called Jayanti, it surely means birth. Since Srimad Bhagavad Gita Jayanti is said, there must surely be someone who gave birth to it. Everyone says God Sri Krishna speaks. In that case, Sri Krishna comes first and the Gita comes after him. A creator of the Gita is definitely needed. If Sri Krishna is called that, then Sri Krishna should come first and then the Gita. However, Sri Krishna was a small child, and so he couldn't have spoken the Gita. You have to prove who it was who gave birth to the Gita. This is a deep matter. Krishna took birth from his mother's womb. He was a prince of the Golden Age. He attained the status of a prince by studying Raj Yoga through the Gita. So who was the one who gave birth to the Gita? Was it the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul Shiva, or Sri Krishna? In fact, Sri Krishna cannot even be called Trilokinath or Trikaldashi. Only the one can be called Trilokinath and Trikaldashi. Trilokinath means the one who rules the three worlds. The incorporeal world, the subtle region, and the corporeal world are called Triloki, and the one who knows these three is called Trilokinath. Trikaldashi, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, Shiva. This is his praise, not Sri Krishna's praise. The praise of Sri Krishna is 16 celestial degrees full of all virtues. He is compared to the moon. You would not compare the Supreme Soul to the moon. His task is separate. He is the Creator who gives birth to the Gita. Deities are created through the knowledge of the Gita and Raj Yoga. The Father has to come and give the knowledge in order to change human beings into deities. Very clever Brahma Kumars and Kumaris who can give this explanation are needed. Not everyone can explain in the same way. All of you daughters are also number-wise. The topic should also be who gave birth to the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. For this you have to explain the contrast. God is only one, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, Shiva. Krishna attained that status by listening to knowledge from the ocean of knowledge. You have to explain how he attained that status by studying easy Raj Yoga. First of all, the Father creates Brahmins through Brahma. He speaks the essence of all the Vedas and scriptures. Together with Brahma, the mouth-born creation of Brahma is also needed. Only Brahma receives the knowledge of Trikaldashi. Triloki means he also receives the knowledge of the three worlds. The three aspects of time are the beginning, the middle and the end. And the three worlds are the incorporeal world, the subtle region and the corporeal world. You have to remember these words. Many children forget these. It is Maya, in the form of arrogance of the body, that makes you forget. So the creator of the Gita is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul Shiva, and not Sri Krishna. Only the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is Trikaldashi and Trilokinath. Neither Krishna nor Lakshmi or Narayan has this knowledge. Yes, those who received this knowledge from the Father became the masters of the world. When you have received salvation, your intellects lose this knowledge. The bestower of salvation for all is that one. He is not the one who takes rebirth. Rebirth begins at the beginning of the Golden Age. From then to the end of the Iron Age, you take 84 births. This explanation has to be given. Not everyone takes 84 births. The one who wrote that Gita cannot be called Trikaldashi. First of all, it is totally wrong where it is written, God Sri Krishna speaks. It definitely has to be wrong. Only when all the scriptures are wrong can the Father come and speak that which is right. Truly, he speaks the true essence of the Vedas and scriptures through Brahma, and this is why he is called the Truth. You now have the company of the Truth, who makes you truthful. There is Prajapita Brahma and his mouth-born creation, Jagadamba Saraswati. All the children of Prajapita Brahma are brothers and sisters. You should go to the temples everywhere and give lectures. Many people go sightseeing there. When you explain to one, a whole spiritual gathering will gather there. You should also go to the cremation grounds. People have disinterest there. However, Baba says, when you explain to my devotees, they will quickly understand. So you have to go to the temples to Shiv Baba and Lakshmi and Narayan. Lakshmi and Narayan are not called Mama and Baba. Shiva is called Baba, and there must surely also be Mama. She is incognito. No one can know the incognito secret of how Shiv Baba, the Creator, is also called the Mother and Father. Lakshmi and Narayan would only have one son. However, this one's name is Prajapita Brahma. Vishnu and Shankar are not placed high. Trimurti Brahma is considered to be higher. Just as God Shiva is called the Creator, so Brahma too is called a Creator. That one is imperishable anyway. If you use the word Creator, they will ask, how did he create? He is the Creator anyway. However, creation takes place through Brahma. God is now giving all of you souls the knowledge of the beginning, middle and end of the world through Brahma. The Vedas and scriptures, etc. are all the paraphernalia of the path of devotion. The path of devotion continues for half a cycle. This is the activity of knowledge. When the path of devotion ends, and everyone has become impure and tamo pratam, it is then that I, the Father, come. You are at first sato pratam, and you then go through the stages of sato, rajo and tamo. Pure souls who come from up above haven't as yet performed any such actions for which they would have to experience suffering. They say of Christ that he was crucified on a cross, but that was not possible. A new soul that comes down to establish a religion cannot receive sorrow, because that soul is a messenger in his karmatit stage, who comes to establish a religion. When a messenger is sent onto a battlefield, he goes carrying a white flag, through which the other side understands that he has come with a message. They don't cause him any difficulty at that time. So no one can put a messenger on a cross. It is the soul that experiences sorrow. You should write that souls are not immune to the effect of action. It is wrong to say that souls are immune to the effect of action. Who said this? These are the versions of God Shiva. You should note down this point. You need very broad and unlimited intellects to write this. When Christians come to the exhibitions, you can tell them that it wasn't the Christ soul that was crucified on the cross, but that it was the soul of the body that the Christ soul entered, who would have experienced suffering. When they hear such things, they will be amazed. That pure soul came and established a religion according to the directions of God the Father. This is also in the drama. Some people understand the drama, but they don't know its beginning, middle or end. When they hear such things, they will try to understand some of these things. No one can insult Krishna. Who is it that really receives insults at this time? Not Shiv Baba, but this corporeal one. Baba, the pure soul, is the teacher, whereas this one is impure and becoming pure. Those who have understood this clearly will speak without hesitation. Otherwise, people would understand that you have just memorized it, and they would then not be able to accept it, and the arrow wouldn't strike the target. A lot of honesty and cleanliness is required. If someone who indulges in vice tells others that lust is the great enemy, the arrow will not strike the target. There is the example of the pundit who said, "Chant the name of Rama and you will be able to go across the river or the ocean." This refers to this time. Shiv Baba says, by remembering me, you will go across this ocean of poison. The pundits don't know which ocean. You will go from this brothel to Shivalay. You have to follow Srimat very well. You say, Baba, whether you love me or reject me, ... The explanation is only given here, and yet some of you still become like corpses. You children have to study well. The Father is the ocean of love, That is, he educates you and enables you to receive a high status. This is his love. Since the Father is teaching you, you have to study, and then also teach others. You have to please the Father. You have to remain busy in doing the Father's service. The Father's service is for you to do the true service of Bharat with your bodies, minds and wealth. You have to explain with a loud and clear voice. All are number-wise. They would also be number-wise in a kingdom. The teacher understands what number you will receive in the divine kingdom. He can understand from your service who will become the main ones. You yourselves can understand that. If you don't do as much service as Mama and Baba, you will have to become maids or servants. As you progress further, all of you will come to know everything. It will all become clear that you didn't follow Srimat. At this time, all of you children are students. If you make someone your servant at this time, you yourself will have to become a servant. To become an empress here is body consciousness. You should speak the truth. Baba, I made this mistake. No one has become perfect yet. When someone fails his examination, he is ashamed. Baba was thinking during the night that people speak of 21 births, and this is also remembered, but that this one godly birth now is different. There are 8 births in the Golden Age, 12 births in the Silver Age, 21 births in the Copper Age, and 42 births in the Iron Age. This godly birth in which you are adopted is the most elevated birth of all. This is the most fortunate birth of only you Brahmins. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bapdada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dana. 1. Give the return of love to the Father, the ocean of love. Study well and teach others. You have to follow Srimat. 2. First of all, imbibe knowledge with honesty and a clean heart, and then inspire others to imbibe it. Stay in the company of the One Father. Blessing. May you become sensible and free of sins by knowing the importance of the directions given by the instrument souls. Sensible children will never think that perhaps the directions being given by the instrument souls are given because of someone saying something to them. Never have such waste thoughts about instrument souls. Even if someone makes a decision that you do not like, you are not responsible for that, and so you will not accumulate sin in that, because it is the Father who made that one an instrument, and he can change that sin. This significance is incognito. It is incognito machinery. Slogan. An honest person loves God and loves the world, not one who loves to rest. Om Shanti. Then we have the elevated versions of Metashwari. Human beings take 84 births. They do not enter 8.4 million species. When we ask God to take us children across to the other side, what does "to the other side" mean? People think that to go across to the other side means not to come into the cycle of birth and death, that is, to be liberated. This is what people say, but the Father says, "Children, the place where there truly is happiness and peace, far away from sorrow and peacelessness, is not called a world." When people want happiness, it has to be in this life. That one was a golden age paradise, a world of deities, where there was a life of complete happiness. Those deities were said to be immortal. There is no meaning to immortal. It isn't that the lifespan of the deities was so long that they never died. To say this of them is wrong, because it is not like that. Their lifespan does not last through the golden and silver ages. However, the deities have had many births in the golden and silver ages. They ruled the kingdom very well for 21 births. Then they took 63 births from the Copper Age to the end of the Iron Age. In total, they took 21 births of the ascending stage and 63 births of the descending stage. In total, human beings take 84 births. However, when people think that human beings go through 8.4 million species, that is a mistake. If human beings can go through their parts of happiness and sorrow in just a human birth, then what is the need to go through any suffering in the animal kingdom? However, people do not have this knowledge. Human beings take 84 births, but in total there are definitely 8.4 million species of animals, birds, etc. on the earth. There is every type of creation, and in that human beings experience their sin and charity as the human species, and animals experience everything in their animal kingdom. Neither do human beings take birth as animals, nor do animals take birth as humans. Human beings have to go through their suffering in their own species, and so there is the feeling of happiness and sorrow. In the same way, animals have to go through their experience of happiness and sorrow in their own kingdom. However, they do not have the intellects to understand which action they are suffering for. Human beings feel their suffering because they have intellects. But it isn't that human beings go through 8.4 million species. A non-living tree also belongs to its own species. This is easy and a matter of understanding with the intellect. What actions or neutral actions would a non-living tree have performed that it would have created a karmic account? For instance, Guru Nanak spoke the elevated versions, those who remember their son in their final moments, those who die with such a worry will take a birth as a boar. However, this does not mean that human beings go into the boar species, but it means that their actions are like those of animals. It is not that human beings become animals. Those teachings are given to make people afraid. So you have to transform your lives at this confluence age and become charitable souls from sinful souls. Acha.